Okay, today we are going to be learning how to multiply decimals. So here we have 0.24 times 0.97. So when we multiply decimals, we can ignore the decimal point and multiply as we normally would with whole numbers. So we can set it up the same. So 24 times 97, and now we can proceed to start multiplying. So 7 times 4 is 28. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 2 is 16. 9 times 4 is 36. 9 times 2 is 18, plus 3 is 21. Now we can add these together. 8 plus 0 is 8, 6 plus 6 is 12, 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 3, and 0 plus 2 is 2. So our answer would be 2,328. So since 0.24 and 0.97 are both factors less than 1, what is 1 times 1? Is 1. So is 2,328 a logical answer? No. So even though we can multiply as we normally would without the decimal point, we must add it back correctly into our answer. So the product, or the answer, will have the same number of digits behind the decimal as both of the factors combined, which in this case is 24 and 97. So if we were to count the number of digits behind the decimal in the factors, we would get 1, 2, 3, and 4. So if we were to add the decimal point back into our answer, we would want to go from 4 numbers to the left. So we would go 1, 2, 3, 4. So our final answer would be 0.2328. Which this answer makes sense because this is less than 1. So let's do another example. Let's try 0.56 times 0.4. So now when we set this up, we can use the decimal point to set up our equation correctly, but when we start multiplying, we can ignore the decimal point. So in this case, it would be 0.56 times 0.4, and we can add our 0 as our placeholder to help us multiply. So we can add the 0, and now we can multiply correctly. So 0 times 6 is 0, 0 times 5 is 0, 4 times 6 is 24, 4 times 5 is 20, plus 2 is 22. So when we add all this together, we get 224. So if we were going to add the decimal back into the correct spot, we would count the digits behind the decimal point. So we would get 1, 2, 3. So when we go to add our decimal point in the answer, we would go 3 to the left. So we would go 1, 2, 3. And now our answer is 0.224. Okay, let's do one more example together. Let's try 0.37 times 5.7. And the same as the last problem, we can use the decimal point to help us set up our equation. So we can do 0.37 times 5.7, and we can add 0 as our placeholder to help us out. So now we can multiply like we normally would. So 0 times 7 is 0, 0 times 3 is 0, 7 times 7 is 49, 7 times 3 is 21, plus 4 is 25. 5 times 7 is 35. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 3 is 18. So when we add this together, we get 0 plus 9 plus 0 is 9. 5 plus 5 is 10. 8 plus 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11. And 1 plus 1 is 2. So if we were to add the decimal point back into our answer, we would count the number of digits behind the decimal point in the factors. So we get 1, 2, 3. So when we want to add a decimal point back into our answer, it's 1, 2, 3. So our answer would be 2.109. And that is how you multiply decimals.